Take the bait. Take the bait. Take the bait. Take the bait. Take the bait.
It's game day. It's not no regular Wednesday.
Welcome to Take the Bait, a sports talk show where two sports guys debate topics past and present that many of us have thought about, but now your hosts, Marcus Wilson, Ben Shoulders, have a platform that we can discuss all of these topics together. Thank you so much for watching. All of our shows are now over 50,000 views. Some are over 100,000 views. We couldn't do this without you, so please continue to watch and share with your friends. And of course, like, comment either here in the YouTube comments below or on any of our social media platforms. All you have to do is search Take the Bait on Facebook, TikTok, IG, Twitter, and you'll see these mugs right there smiling right back at you. Our first segment of the day. It has been an incredible year of sports in the state of Indiana. I'm from South Bend. Ben, you're from Indiana as well. I mean, if you're a fan of sports in Indiana, your team has probably been making you really proud lately from top to bottom. Ben, what do you think about the last year of sports in the state of Indiana?
You know, Marcus, it's been incredible. I mean, when you go in chronological order, starting this year, 2025, it's just awesome what's happened in Indiana sports. Starting with Notre Dame football, they made it to the national championship game. And although they got beat, they were on the biggest stage, made it to the national championship. Then you move on to the NBA. The Indiana Pacers made it to the NBA Finals. Then, as we know, Halliburton got hurt in Game 7. Who knows what would have happened, you know, if they would have won or not. But the point is, they got to the finals. Nobody thought they could get there. That was amazing. Then, staying with basketball, Indiana Fever, speaking of injuries, they lose Caitlin Clark late in the year. They still make the semifinals of WNBA. So that was amazing. Then we shift gears to football. We got the Indianapolis Colts. They're in first place in their division right now. Nobody thought that would happen. And then IU football. Indiana University's number 2 in the nation, 11-0. And to top it all off, Marcus, Purdue right now is number 1 in the country in men's basketball, undefeated. So 3 major pro sports teams in Indiana and the 3 major universities in Indiana all, you know, exceeded expectations this year. It's been truly amazing. And not only being from Indiana, but living in Indiana, it's just been so great to see all this happen. Just unreal.
Man, it has been. I'm a Notre Dame fan, season ticket holder. So I was at that college football home game against IU, which I think is a great idea. I love that they're putting that first round back on the college stadium. Like, it was electric. It was the best sporting event I've ever been to. Obviously, with the Fever, I mean, if you know basketball, men or women, everyone in the country knows who Caitlin Clark was. So that was dominating sports news. You know, the Colts are more of a Midwest thing, maybe even like with Purdue, but NBA Finals, you got Halliburton on the biggest stage. Man, it's just been so awesome to be from Indiana and seeing all the successes happening.
Unbelievable.
On to topic number 2. This is something that I remember people talking about even when I was younger. Who is the best athlete of all time? I think that most people would agree that it's down to these top 2. So we're going to talk about these 2. Who's the better athlete, Deion Sanders or Bo Jackson? Ben, how about you lead us off?
Woo, this is a tough one, Marcus. I mean, they both were phenomenal 2-sport guys. Well, some would say 3-sport in college. I'm going with Bo Jackson, and I'll tell you why. He was a 3-sport guy in college at Auburn. I'll start there. He played football, baseball, and track. In track, his freshman and sophomore year, he qualified for the NCAA finals, ran a 10.39 in the 100-meter dash. In baseball, he started in outfield. And in football, he was 3-time All-American at Auburn. He would have been 4-time, but his junior year, he got hurt, only played half the season. 3-time All-American. His senior year, he won the Heisman in 1985. He rushed for 4,303 career rushing yards at Auburn, still a school record to this day. Then he gets to professional sports. He played 8 major league seasons in MLB after being drafted out of high school by the New York Yankees in the 2nd round. He played 4 NFL seasons, 87 and 90, all with the Raiders. And check this out, Marcus. In 1989, which was his peak of his athleticism, in 1989, he was named an MLB All-Star. He hit a home run and stole a base in the All-Star game, becoming only the 2nd player ever next to Willie Mays to hit a home run and steal a base in the same All-Star game. That same year, he has 32 home runs and 105 RBIs in the regular season. And then that fall, he rushes for 5.5 yards per carry in the NFL. The same year. The following year, he's named NFL Pro Bowler in 1990. So therefore, he made Major League Baseball All-Star in 89 and NFL Pro Bowl in 90. We all know what happened January 91 during a playoff game. He gets hit. He goes down, hip injury. It was very, very sad. He had to quit football entirely because of his hip injury. He was never the same. He came back and played a few seasons in Major League Baseball. 1993, he was named AL Comeback Player of the Year. That was great, but he was never the same athlete, Marcus. He didn't have the longevity that a Deion had or other players had. I know you'll get into that. But in his prime, 87 to 90, those 4 years, because of his strength, his speed, and his power, I've never seen anybody like him, Marcus. He was 6'1", 230 pounds, raw strength, raw speed, and therefore I say Bo Jackson is the best pound-for-pound athlete I've ever seen, especially in his prime, 87 to 90.
Hard to argue against any of that, Ben. I mean, I'm a big Bo Jackson fan. My brother played college football. He wore number 34, I believe, after Bo Jackson. So I knew who he was when I was a kid, and I really respect Bo. I think he's a great athlete. However, I do think he's the second best athlete of all time. Next to Deion Primetime Sanders. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not even going to go too much into his college career, even though he was really good at Florida State. Just talking about some of the things he did as a pro in his career. You know, Deion played in the NFL for 14 seasons, was all pro, 9 Pro Bowl selections, had 9 interceptions returned for a touchdown, which is still a record. You got to think about that. All these records that are being broken right now because there's more games played and everything. Still a record right there. He was just a phenomenal athlete. When he got the ball in his hands, he was electric. His teams won 2 Super Bowls. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And one of my main 2 points of why I think he's the best, most people consider him the best or one of the best cornerbacks of all time in his position, right? Just last episode, we talked about the top 5 running backs. No one talked about Bo. Like, you did that. He didn't even make your list. He didn't even make your honorable mention. If you do top 5 cornerbacks in the history of the game, I guarantee a lot of people are going to say,
he is a great cover corner, maybe the best that ever played this game. I think he'd make a heck of an anything. I mean, I think he could be a receiver. He's a great punt returner, a great kick returner, baseball player, base stealer, hitter, whatever you want.
So not only was he good, he was elite, the best at it, okay? So now let's go over to baseball. Played in the Major League Baseball League for 9 seasons. He didn't just play for some scrub teams. He played for the Yankees. He appeared in the 1992 World Series. And my second point as to why, my major point of why he thinks he's the best athlete ever, the dual sport accomplishment that I don't think anybody will ever do. Again, on October 11th, 1992, Sanders played an NFL game, right? Played for the Atlanta Falcons. Game is over. Most people go home and chill. Not him. He jumps on a helicopter, flies up to Pittsburgh, and plays for the Atlanta Braves in a playoff game that night. I mean, how good of an athlete do you have to be to play in the NFL? People talk about how sore their bodies are, and you just jump on a helicopter and go play in a major league baseball game in the playoffs. I just think that with him being elite as a cornerback, doing what he did in the majors, he was electric at everything he did. I know some people don't like his swag, but I think that it was one of those things that revolutionized the game in terms of being boisterous and just having confidence in some of the things that he did. So my pick for the best athlete of all time is Deion Primetime Sanders.
Wow.
Our third topic today, rapid fire. What are the best 5 fights, not in boxing, not in UFC, but in basketball history, specifically the NBA? What are the top 5 fights in NBA history? I'm going to go ahead and take this one, Ben. And like you last week, I'm going to start off with the honorable mention. My honorable mention, November 21st, 2021, almost 4 years to the date, we had LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart. The reason why this is honorable mention, ladies and gentlemen, because there were no real punches landed. It did start on the lane when it was a box out. Some say it was inadvertent. Some say it was purposely done by LeBron, but that elbow slash fist to the face went to Isaiah Stewart. Obviously, he was a little bit upset. Looked like he wanted to talk to him at first, but then he saw blood. And when he saw blood, man, the whole stadium saw this guy transform into the Incredible Hulk. It took security, it took players, it took coaches, it took half the arena to get this man to stop him from getting to LeBron James. I mean, it was almost scary. Like, what is he going to do if he somehow gets to him? I mean, he was a man on a mission. One of my funniest videos I've ever seen of all time was this video I'm going to show you right now of where they took the caption from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Check this out.
There's going to be a fight here. Oh, yeah! It's Austin! Stone Cold!
Man, that was just hilarious. I mean, I guess it wasn't funny at the time. But you know what's crazy about, as a side note about that Isaiah Stewart fight, Ben, is that happened November 21st, 2021. He was going crazy. Everybody thought he was some lunatic. On September 18th, 2021, check out this pic right here. We were at Notre Dame with my son John Bowl on his visit to Notre Dame. And after John got done working out, we see Isaiah Stewart come in to work out with his agent and his trainer. And this guy was the nicest guy you'd ever meet. He sat down, talked to John and another one of my players, Travis Green. Shout out to you, Travis. But just sat down with him, talked to him about how hard you have to work to be good. Big smile, very gregarious. I mean, just seemed like the nicest guy in the world. So to see just a couple months later him going nuts like that was just kind of beyond belief. So that is my honorable mention of one of the top fights in NBA history. But now getting to my top five. Number five, April 30th, 1998, Knicks versus Heat. Jeff Van Gundy is straggling on to the ankles of Alonzo Mourning. Give you some context to that. Alonzo Mourning and grandmama, Larry Johnson, for all you guys who used to, love him back there. Shout out to my boy, Brad Elliott. That's one of his favorite players.
Yeah.
They used to be teammates with the Hornets. Rumor has it that Alonzo Mourning was so much established in the league. Larry Johnson, it's time for him to get his contract renewal. Larry Johnson got a big increase. Alonzo Mourning wasn't really happy about that. Some say it was jealousy. Some say it was hating. He felt he deserved it. Those two didn't get along after that. After being traded to their separate teams, the Heat and the Knicks, it didn't take much for them to get at each other. And man, there were some serious punches thrown. Luckily for each other, neither one landed because both of those dudes are some big dudes. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my fifth best fight in NBA history. Number four, November 9th, 1984, Larry Bird, Dr. J. Man, one of the reasons this is top five is just the iconic figures that they are. These are two arguably top 25 players ever. I mean, it was huge. I mean, the star power on that court out there, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Dr. J, Charles Barkley, all these guys are out there on the court. It started with, they got tangled up, getting back in transition. Bird gets a foul. They said he was a little upset with the ref, but when he came back, he was still had his adrenaline going and kind of got in Dr. J's face. Dr. J says that he inadvertently grabbed Larry Bird by the neck. I don't know how you inadvertently do that. He said that he meant to push him in the chest. The head slid up to the throat. After that, the rest is history. People are holding Bird. Dr. J is throwing nothing but right hand punches to the face. Man, it was crazy. And back then, they were talking about, I wonder if someone's going to get suspended the next game. Like, guys just got fined for those type of things back then. But that is my number four fight in NBA history. Number three, another 76ers, but not Dr. J. Charles Barkley and Bill Laimbeer on April 19th, 1990. This had some backdrop to it as well. Rick Mahorn had gotten traded from the Pistons to the 76ers. The Pistons were trying to clean up their image because everybody was saying they were the bad boys and, Jordan was coming along. People didn't like how dirty they were. So when they traded Mahorn, they were like, okay, we got rid of our bad boy image. Wrong. So you go there. Isaiah Thomas throws and connects a kind of soft punch on Rick Mahorn. Rick Mahorn gives him the stiff arm, just kind of holds him off. He's laughing at him. That kind of started it. But people knew that Charles Barkley and Bill Laimbeer did not like each other. I would even go as far as to use the word hated each other. So then you see it's coming to the basket. Dennis Rodman gives him a hard foul. After that, Bill Laimbeer puts the ball in his chest. Charles Barkley didn't like that. That was his cue to say, you know what? You're not putting your hand on my teammate. Lands a left. They get tangled up. Bill Laimbeer lands an uppercut. It's melee. I mean, it's going crazy in there. There were some real punches landed. So with the star power on the court, and the fact that it was a real fight, not just pushing and shoving. I mean, there were some other fights that, we'll get to that we might talk about a little bit later, but there were some real punches landed on those. So that is my number 3 fight in NBA history. Number 2, listen, people don't even like to talk about this anymore because it was so scary and dangerous at the time. But if we're talking about it, we kind of got to bring it up. Rudy Tomjanovich and Kermit Washington. What started off as a small scuffle, and everybody thought it was just going to be that. Rudy Tomjanovich comes running over to the scuffle. Kermit Washington sees somebody running at him. I don't know if he thought he was coming at him or go to break it up, but Kermit decided, you know what? Better you than me. He throws what is now considered the most dangerous and vicious punch thrown in NBA history. When he hit it, the punch was so strong that guys were fighting, and when they heard the sound, people described it as a sound like a melon dropping and popping. They just stopped fighting. They were like, oh, like something really just happened right there. Yeah, it did just happen. He fractured his skull, fractured his jaw, it was life-damaging injuries. Luckily that, Tomjanovich recovered from that, went on to be a great coach. But that was a scary moment. And again, that was a real fight. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my number 2 fight in NBA history. And number 1, you probably already know what it is by now because I haven't mentioned it. And it's top 5. So it's number 1. November 19th, 2004, the Malice in the Palace. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I remember that like it was yesterday. You know what? Give you some backdrop on that. I was doing my research on this. What happened was, it was at the end of the game. Pacers were winning. I'm sure the Pistons didn't like that. Jamal Tinsley, who seems to be involved in a lot of stuff like this, says to Ron Artest, man, you can get your get back from that foul last year. Apparently there was a hard foul that Ben Wallace had given to Ron Artest the previous year. Steven Jackson was like, man, this is a bad idea.
Jamal tells Ron, you can get your foul back, some foul that Ben put on Ron in the Eastern Conference Final. Remember, I wasn't on the team yet.
I told you he don't forget nothing.
I wasn't on the team yet.
Yes.
And he told him to get his foul back. And if you remember, I was guarding Ben. I let Ben lay it up, and Ron came from out of nowhere and fouled him. And that's how all that shit started, bro.
Ben Wallace goes to the basket. Steve Jackson admits he gives Olay defense, tries to let him get to the rim so it's over so they can just throw the ball in and call it quits. Nah, Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, whatever you want to call it, decided that it was his time to get his get back. Gave Ben Wallace a hard foul. Ben Wallace is not the one to test on that. Ben Wallace gave him a shove so hard that it knocked Ron Artest back into his senses. If you really remember after that, he pushed him. Ron Artest was like, this ain't a good idea. I'm going to go lay my butt down over here on the scores table because Ben Wallace is a dude I really don't feel like messing with right now. But from there, my goodness, from there, did it take off. Ron got hit in the head with a drink, ran up in the stands. Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal, everybody, they're fighting fans. I mean, people are fighting each other. It is just the malice. It was melee. It was the malice in the palace. It was by far the biggest fight in NBA history, in my opinion. It was a black eye to the NBA. We can look back at it and laugh a little bit now, but at the time, it was really damaging to the NBA, seeing fans actually getting hit by real NBA players. Luckily, it got broke up before anybody got hurt too bad. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is my number 1 fight in NBA history.
Marcus, that list was amazing. I mean, excellent. Even your honorable mentions. I don't know how you found some of these. I remember a lot of these. Obviously, the Mouse in the Palace is number 1. I don't think anybody can argue that. Excellent list. We'll do more of these, in the future. But yeah, I have no qualms with this. Great list.
I thought about Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller. They got into it. Also thought about when Chris Childs gave Kobe Bryant the 1-2 piece with the biscuit. Those were real punches landed. There were some other fights out there
there's several fights, yeah.
But I went with these 5 in the honorable mention.
Absolutely. Very strong list. Very strong.
And our last topic of the day, going back to college basketball. Who do you think will be college basketball player of the year when it's all said and done? Ben, how about you lead us off?
We've talked about college basketball for several weeks now, Marcus. There's some great players. There's some great freshmen. There's some great upperclassmen. I'm going with JT Toppin, the junior from Texas Tech. He was All-American last year. Through today, he's averaging 22 points per game, 10.4 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game. He had a monster performance against Illinois, 35 points and 11 rebounds. That was at Illinois. Texas Tech's ranked 20th right now. They're 4-2, but their 2 losses are at Illinois and against Purdue. So I think they're going to have a really good season. But again, I think it's going to be close this year. I think there's going to be a lot of players vying for that Player of the Year, but I'm going with JT Toppin.
I love JT Toppin. You know, he started at New Mexico. Since he's
Yeah.
been to Texas Tech, he's been phenomenal. Really good player. And I do think he has a legit chance of being National Player of the Year if their team can finish in the top 10. You know, oftentimes is rewarded to not only the best player, but someone on one of the better teams, which is why I'm going with the obvious choice, Braden Smith of the Purdue Boilermakers. Braden Smith is an All-American. He is the best point guard in college basketball. He was Big Ten Player of the Year, first team All-American, as I said, has over 1,300 career points. I mean, he has the resume. It's not just 1 year. He has the resume that has built up to this. He also helped Purdue to 2 Big Ten regular season championships and 1 Big Ten tournament title. They're the number 1 team in the country. And I think the one thing that puts him over the edge is he's going to most likely make history when he sets and he breaks the all-time assist record set by Bobby Hurley back in 1993. Again, you think about a record that has been around for over 32 years. All the players that have come along since then. I do think some of these records are going to get harder and harder to break because back then players played 3 or 4 years. And so they were able to really accumulate some ridiculous numbers. Braden Smith is one of those guys that's doing it. And a lot of times guys who are really, really good now, they leave and run off to the pros. But this is one of those records that I'm not sure that anybody thought was ever going to be broken because all the good point guards and all the good players leave so early. Braden Smith has a chance and most likely will do it if he continues averaging what he's averaging right now in terms of assists, which is around 8.7 assists a game at the time of this recording. So considering that he's already considered the best point guard in the country, number 1 ranked team in the country, best player on the best team, going to set an all-time NCAA record, I just think it's going to be hard for him not to win National Player of the Year, and he would rightfully so deserve it. That does it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Take Debate. Again, we couldn't do this without you. We're getting a lot of views. We still would please like for you to not only continue watching because you're doing that, but share it. If you like it, one of your friends might like it. Just say, hey, check out this show. Our friends are doing it. We think it's pretty interesting. Again, thank you so much.
No, thank you, bro. No, thank you, bro.
Thank you for everything. You the real MVP. Ben, you got anything you got to close us out?
Thanks for tuning in to Take Debate. We want to hear from you.
We're out.
Take the bait. Take the bait. Take the bait. Take the bait. Take the bait.
Get off your phone and get in the zone. Put down the sticks, leave the studio alone. I got my squad with me and we ready. If you got your squad with you, get ready. Take the bait.
Take the bait.
Take the bait.
Take the bait.
Take the bait. Baby, get